Taking a look at a Gerber Mark II. Now this knife, I'm definitely not an expert on it. There's a lot of these knives out there. They originate, I believe, back in World War II, maybe before. Double-edged dagger style knife. Definitely a one-trick pony here. You could say some other knives are utility knives, but when you're talking about a double-bladed dagger, really this is designed for pretty much one thing, and we all know what that is. So this is one, most of the guys I know that are into knives, at some point you kind of break from buying cheap ones that look like the knives you like to actually spending a couple of bucks and buying the knife you like. And for me, this was one of those first ones. When I was in high school, I actually had to save up a little bit to buy this one. I don't remember the price anymore, but it wasn't cheap. It's Gerber, made in USA, so high quality. As far as these go, the Mark IIs, I think they're still making them. It's definitely been a popular dagger for forever. Super well made. I mean, there's really not much to this. It's basically a giant nail shaped like a dagger. I mean, I don't think it's one solid piece of metal. Pretty sure that the blade, goes down into this aluminum grip, but short of smacking two cinder blocks into it, it's going to basically hold up through pretty much anything. I've thrown this knife a lot. I like throwing knives, and this one's a great one for throwing. It does have serrations here, so you got to be a little conscious of what you're doing when you throw it, so you don't slice a finger or something. But very well balanced. Really just a neat knife. And I've added this piece of leather on the top. Just, I don't know, I like to have lanyards on my knives. Maybe it's a little pointless on this fighting knife, but I've got it on there. This one, when I bought it, I'm old, and these were basically before nylon was a big thing. So pretty much knives came with leather, and I guess it's quality leather. I'm not an expert on leather or anything. One thing I notice here is the rivet seems a little weak in my opinion. It's not an important rivet really, I guess, but it is the retention strap. I just thought they probably could have done a little better job there, but again, I'm no leather worker or anything. Basically simple leather sheath. It had a pocket in the front here for this sort of sharpening stone. It was a diamond impregnated steel chisel looking thing, and I never liked it. The sheath was always, I never liked this sheath. Like a year later or 10 minutes after I bought this thing, they came out with the nylon sheaths, which were awesome, and I wasn't able to return this for the nylon style, so I was sort of stuck with this sheath, and for that reason I probably didn't use this knife very much. Used it just enough to ruin its value as a collectible, but not enough to, I've ever really had it with me every day or anything. Anyhow, it came with a leather strap here. That might be this leather strap, if I remember right. And a couple of holes for wrapping a strap through there. It comes with a slot in the leather for putting it on a belt, which is fairly cheesy, but back in the day was your option usually. And then it's got this for the older, basically World War II style pistol belts, so you can tell this thing was probably modeled after something World War II style, if not just an exact copy. I have no idea really. So again, not exactly the most tactical thing. I have big hands, so I'm able to unsnap this, but I think most people would almost need to unsnap this with a second hand or with a second movement and then pull the knife out. Can't say much about it. It's just a very, very well made knife. I'm sure that there's probably people that know a lot more about these Mark IIs than I do, but since I'm going through some of the knives for review here, I figured I'd bring it out. It's a Gerber Mark II. And I'll just run through the physical dimensions of it. We're looking at a 7-inch blade, 6-inch blade, and then a overall length of just about exactly 12 inches. And if we bring this scale back over, for the knife itself, we're looking at 8.1 ounces. And for the knife and sheath together, we're looking at 12.5 ounces. So very lightweight, obviously designed for stealth, so not a lot of extra weight on the sheath or the knife.